Well, we're staying in the voice realm because, of course, what I hear a lot, because I work mainly on chat, is like, yeah, the chat is pretty good, but I can't do voice yet. And that's not without reason, because to do voice really well, that takes effort, that takes expertise. And I'm really happy to have Patrice Maté on stage, and you're going to share some of the secrets of voice automation. So there you go.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Patrice. I hope you will deeply appreciate my Belgian-Frenchy accent. I think I will be quite unique today. Sorry. So voice automation, the secret of excellent CX. Everyone knows about what CX means, customer experience. So it looks like the title of a new Hollywood movie. That's my marketing activities. I've decided to disturb you a bit and change this CX by several new acronyms. Okay, I'd like to add the TX, the DX, sorry, the CX, and the EX, just to disturb you. Anyone have an idea about what TX should mean? Don't be shy. No one? No? Sorry? Todo. That's exactly the point. Because for me, CX is too reductive. If you want to have a great customer experience, sorry, I don't know why my slides are moving so loud. I'm not touching anything. For me, total experience means that, first of all, for a good customer experience, sorry guys, I think that there is an automatic transition somewhere. Maybe you can stop it. So guys, I have an issue with my slides that are automatically transitioning to each other. I don't know if you can fix this, but otherwise you can put it not like this. So let me explain you, and if the slides are moving, I will have my show directly. It's better. So don't look at the slides, please. TX, total experience. That means that effectively you need first to manage what we call the digital experience. And digital experience means that you need to bring to your customer a smooth transition between every type of channel of communication that a customer can usually use to get in contact with the enterprise. That means that you can have a customer on the web page of the enterprise starting to chat on a text base with a virtual agent and having the flexibility to have a smooth transition for a click to call, to eventually call a voice bot that will be able to answer some of the requests, and then afterwards to have the call forwarded to a contact center agent that will answer more complex requests from the customer. And the agent will be able afterwards maybe to send a confirmation by text message, by WhatsApp, using SMS or something like that. So typically, the digital experience stands for the smooth transition between all the channel of communication for the customer. The second one is effectively the customer experience. I assume you have already experienced a legacy DTMF IVR where you have to press on 1, press on 2, press on 3, you never find your way, and finally you are sent to an agent after 10 minutes of Beethoven music, the electronic one, where you have to repeat exactly the same stuff that you have already set to the virtual assistant. So customer experience is very important. And afterwards, you have the next one, which is what I call the EX, which is the employee experience. You have to understand that contact center environment is very stressful. So there is a study that has shown that 80% of the customer are saying that the employee behavior behind the call has an impact on the brand. So that needs to be sure that the employee in the contact center will represent the brand correctly, and you need to manage the employee experience as well. Back to a study, you know that what are the reasons for conversational AI? Reduce the number of contact reaching agents. You have to know that, and I heard a question this morning, someone saying, will you give the choice to a customer to have something automated or not? I'm sorry to say that you and I will not have the choice anymore. All the banks, financial institutions are willing to automate up to 90% of all their customer interaction in the next coming 5 years. That means that we will have to face all this automation system. We do not have any choice anymore. That's because it's, of course, improving the customer experience, It improved the agent efficiency, but as well it reduced the cost. I don't know if amongst you, you have already people who have tried to get some budget from management to deploy AI or automation system. If you are just bringing the customer experience advantage, I don't think you will get the budget. You will get the budget if you're able to justify the cost savings first. So what about the complexity of a voice bot? A voice bot, you need to first start with all the data, all the ways that the customer could ask a question towards a contact center agent. So that means analyzing a lot of data to understand the different way for a customer to ask the question. You have to work on the psychology as well. Building a conversational, we say, flow is very important because on one end you have the AI that is discussing bit and bytes, and on the other end you have the customer who is waiting for some empathy from the bot. And afterwards, you need to integrate the technology because you have an existing contact center environment, you have an existing telephony system, you have an existing CRM system, different database, and you need to mix and match all the different components to have voice automation. So amongst the complexity, the first thing to remember is that a voice bot is not a chat bot that speaks. Never start to implement a voice bot by starting from a text bot because it will never work. So you have to work on different NLU system. You have to start, I would say, from scratch building your voice bot automation and not start from the text part. In the voice, at the contrary of the text, there is no disruption allowed. So that means that you cannot stay silent in front of the customer or you need to stay flexible. An experience from many projects that we have developed for voice bot automation in Europe and in US is that no single solution can do everything. The most important stuff is that any monolithic vendor will not be able to be the most accurate on the market. If you are part of the main country speaking English, French, Spanish, for example, you will have very good speech-to-text and text-to-speech services from the big players. But if you are, I don't know, in Estonia, and some East European countries, or I had a question for Flemish, you will never find a very good speech-to-text and text-to-speech for the small languages. So you need to be able to work with any type of speech-to-text and text-to-speech vendor. Voice is complex, so you know voice over IP protocols, there is the voice quality, there is all the question about security and privacy. You know that it's not the project who is managing the project, it's the security and the compliance department who are managing the projects usually within the company. So we have to stick with what they are expecting from us. Integration with existing infrastructure, very complex. You need at any time to be sure that the code could be escalated to a physical human agent on request of the customer or because the bot is not able to answer the question to the customer. And finally, you need to have effectively the integration with all the enterprise business processes. So the question is, on one hand, I have my voice engagement channel. So a voice call can come from so different ways within the company. It could come directly from the public telephony provider, could come from any enterprise communication platform if you are using Microsoft Teams or Zoom or something like that, or it could come from any contact center. There are so many contact center vendors on the market, from Genesys, from Cisco, Mitel, Avaya, and so ever, and so ever, and so ever. So you need to be sure that wherever the call is coming from, you will be able to send the call to any bot framework on the market, because companies are usually working with different types of bot framework. Mainly international companies have different types of bot framework. On one end, you have the bot frameworks that are speaking text, HTTP, HTTPS. On the other end, you have the voice engagement channels that are talking SIP and telephony. And you need as well to fit with any speech-to-text and text-to-speech vendors. So be able to work with any new cognitive services, emotion detection, system of recording, voice authentication platforms. There is so many cognitive services that are coming on the market. So when we talk about voice bot use case, I assume you are convinced that the first business case for voice bot automation is to replace this legacy DTMF IVR. Instead of having press on 1, press on 2, is how can I help you? There were several aspects that were demonstrated this morning. I'd like to show you another business case. Effectively, this is with the virtual agent. So the idea, coming from step 1, replacing DTMF IVR, is to offload the contact center agents with repetitive tasks. That will improve the customer experience because you will put a 24-hour-by-7 services, but on top, you will increase the employee satisfaction because the employee will not be busy with repetitive and boring tasks that you will have to do all the day. So you have a better answering, and you reduce the service cost. And a third aspect is what I call the agent assist. Why not, instead of having the voice bot in front of the customer, having the voice bot that will listen silently the conversation between the customer and the bot, and based on the transcript of the conversation, will provide real-time insights on the desktop of the contact center agent. So the idea here as well is to have a greater agent productivity. You are reducing the supervision costs, the training costs, and you are increasing the employee satisfaction, if you remember the DX, CX, and EX. So this is what AudioCode is proposing, finally. We are proposing a solution based on software that is called Voice AI Connect. That is a software that can be deployed in different ways. Could be in the AudioCode Azure account, could be in the customer Azure account, in the partner Azure account, in the cloud, could be in the data center of the customer on virtual machines, could be everywhere, depending on the security and compliance rules. And what we do, we orchestrate and we make the translation between, on one end, the voice signaling protocols and the text protocols, and we can connect to any text-to-speech and speech-to-text. We have open APIs, so we have done a lot of different integration. We can have customer as well, for example, within the same conversation that can use Microsoft Azure speech-to-text and text-to-speech for identifying the customer. But when it's a question to locate the customer for assistance on the road, we are switching back to Google. So you can have Amazon, Korea, Inventa, Rasa, every bot framework partners that you have in the region to connect to any voice engagement channel. And you can have as well what we call different functionalities, such as start and stop recording. We can have the agent in the contact center that will forward back the call to the bot for an enrollment or for an activity control. And we can have, of course, identification, language, and so on. Impossible to be here today without talking about, the sexy, trendy OpenAI, ChatGPT, GPT-4, and so on. So you will ask me, what's going on with the voice? As we have open APIs, we are able, without having the need to integrate with a bot framework, we have worked with the OpenAI Open API system with our Open API. It took us less than 1 week to connect to the LLMs. And the idea that I will show you, a very brief demonstration, is that we are using LLMs in order for the agent to have a call summarization that will be fully automated. So it's a very short demo that we will ask to launch. The idea really here is to demonstrate that without the need of a bot framework, by implementing our Voice AI Connect solution today, you can implement from tomorrow all the topics about call topics, call summarization in the contact center. So sparing 1 or 2 minutes of a contact center agent per call, just imagine the cost savings that you can have right now. This is the first usage of LLM system that we can have. Would you mind to press on the play button, please? No, the play button on the video. This is an embedded video with mouse.
Thank you for calling travel agency. How can I assist you?
Hi, I need to urgently change my flight booking, and there was no one to help me before. Can you help?
Sure. Can I have your booking reference number, please?
Yes, it's XYZ456.
Okay, what changes would you like to make?
I need to change the departure date to August 10th and the return date to August 20th.
Let me check if that's possible. Please hold.
Okay.
I can confirm those changes are possible, but there will be a $50 change fee and a $100 fare difference. Do you accept those charges?
Why is the charge so high all of a sudden? Never mind, I have no choice, I guess. What would be the total cost?
The total cost is $400.
Okay, whatever, that's fine.
Okay, first I'll need your full name and date of birth.
Okay, my name is Janet Smith. Date of birth is June 1st, 1985.
Thank you. I'll email you the updated e-ticket. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all.
Okay, have a great day.
I'd like to show you that everything was managed by the OpenAI connector. So you do not need to implement any new system, any bot framework, nothing. That's automated directly. So we are using OpenAI, OpenAPI, just to have the call summarization, this transcription, and so on. So afterwards, we are just providing the data. So you can do what you want with the data that we provide. So you can take all the transcript and put it back in your CRM or database systems. Straightforward application with what we can do with voice with LLMs today. Okay. Now I have another demonstration if you are really willing to implement backend systems. You know the CRM, you know that LLMs has some limitation with the enterprise. This is a demonstration we have set with Core AI, but that could work, of course, with Rasa, Inventa, any bot framework from Google, Microsoft Azure, PVA, and so on. The idea is that we have a customer that we'll call Genesis Engage Contact Center. You know that Genesis Contact Center is pushing all its customers towards the cloud, but there is several customers that have still contact center on-premise, where Genesis has announced that there will be no more sales or no more support for this kind of functionality. So customers that have Genesis on-prem, they have a choice to move to the cloud, and it will take them 2 years. Otherwise, they can count on us in order to bring some innovative features. So what I'd like to show you is the desktop of a contact center agent using Genesis Desktop, where we will have the bot that will listen silently to the conversation and provide real-time insights to the customer. So could you put on the play button, please?
Thank you for calling the loan center. How may I help you today?
Hi, can I please change the payment date on my car loan payment?
The customer's question triggers the Core AI bot to associate it with a known bot scenario, in this case, one called payment due date. It displays a light bulb prompt to the agent. The agent clicks on the light bulb, which opens the Assist tab where the relevant task is shown with the Run button.
Yes, the payment date can be changed.
The agent initiates the dialog task by clicking on Run. The Agent Assist instructs the agent to ask the caller to provide her account number to verify her identity.
If your account is in good standing and you have not changed the payment date in the past 90 days. To get started, can you please confirm your account number so that I can check for eligibility?
Sure, my account number is 205625.
Thank you.
The Agent Assist captures the caller's answer as input and displays it on the screen in the gray rectangle.
I've confirmed your eligibility, and I see that your payment date currently is the 12th of every month.
The agent informs the customer that she is eligible to change her payment date. He confirms her current payment date, automatically supplied by the bot, and asks her for the new date.
What's the new payment date you would like?
Can you make it for the 15th?
The Agent Assist bot captures the word 15 from the customer's reply and recognizes it as the new desired payment date.
Yes. I will change the
Time is
payment
flying,
date.
so I will interrupt. So I think you understand the scope of agent assistance here. So really the bot that listens silently to the conversation. This is an integration that can be done very easily with the audio code solution. So, okay, let's skip this one. What you have to understand from the audio code proposal is that you do not need any voice specialist within the company. We are a fully managed services company that is finally starting the project with you. So we onboard some specialists from project management perspective, and we analyze the telephony contact center functionalities that you have, the bot framework, and we we manage everything on a daily basis. Just showing me and showing you, and sorry about the time, if you want to start from tomorrow and transform any correctly developed text bot for voice bots, you can go to our Voice AI Connect portal. So this is a portal where you will have access to all the APIs. So it's described all the piece of codes that you need to connect, to cut and paste within your bot framework development in order to enjoy, I would say, the telephony functionalities. So this self-service portal, you will have access, you can register using a username and password, very easy, very straightforward. And afterwards, you just need to put the credential of your bot, whatever the bot framework platform that you have, okay? So you just need to put the name of your bot and the secret key of your bot. Afterwards, you just need to define the speech-to-text and the text-to-speech that you want to use. So you can use anyone from the big vendors or anyone from local vendors, universities that are developing accurate ones. When it's done, you can get a phone number provided by audio codes. It's done in 2 minutes' time. And in 2 minutes' time, you can take your mobile and you can call your voice bot and interact with your voice bot for further testing. So if you need any tests, if you need any proof of concept or trials or anything for voice bot development, it's pretty straightforward. Then when you are good and you are convincing your customer, or as customer you are convinced about the quality of your voice bot, you can go to the next step. The next step is just to say, I have a Genesis contact center and fill in the required data, so the address, the fully qualified name, the type of encryption, the type of security that you answered for. And when it's done, you can define the routing rules. So if a call is coming as inbound or outbound, could be routed to the live bot, from the live bot directly to a contact center agent. So you define all your routing rules, and you will get access afterwards to all the recordings, all the transcript, all the information that you can centralize within your central reporting of your stuff. I'm done, so I'm sorry about the PowerPoint bug. I just would like to finish by mentioning that AudioCode is not a bot framework vendor. We are not a cognitive service vendor. We are, for more than 30 years, a voice partner, so we are specialists in voice. So we are here really to fill the gap between your text bot development, your cognitive services, and we are adding a lot of functionalities in order to reduce the speech-to-text and the text-to-speech costs, such as detecting the silence of the customer, managing the crosstalk, buffering the main prompts, in order to reduce the average price aspects of the customer. I have a lot to say about it, and I'm used to talk too much in any case. So I will, if you have any question, I'm glad to answer right now. If not, if you want to discuss further, we have a booth outside on the ground floor, so I will invite you to join me and my colleague, and I will be pleased to answer all your questions or discuss eventually your project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrice. Another wonderful example of how speech tech and voice tech have been around in Europe for so much longer than just the last 5 years, yep. Right? And actually, I'm the only one standing between you and lunch. So what I would suggest is that if you have any questions for Patrice, take them with you to lunch, go to the booth, and get a lot more of this wonderful information. And with that, it's lunchtime. 1 hour, so if you want to be back here for a wonderful talk by Norbert, that's 1:10 past 1. Enjoy.
Thank you, enjoy.